Red Edition, welcome and happy day. Left-wing wacko types, Libtards, that's a good name for them. They have one in Ontario, Canada. She's the premier. She wasn't elected by the people at all. And recently she's given out a $7 million bonus package for 64 executives who in fact are the organizers of the Toronto 2015 Pan Am Games. She thinks it's a great idea to give them big bonuses. You know, here's one guy, for instance, he's a CEO. He's eligible for a $780,000 bonus. That's on top of his present bonus of $87,000 and his base salary of $390,000. This is all coming from a province that is absolutely upside down financially. They have twice the debt of California, a third of the people. They're a mess. She's a mess, and she defends it all the time. She says, that's okay, I can do this. Hold it, you're taxing everybody. Literally, just whap every day, whap, whap, whap. I mean, nobody could afford to pay attention anymore, and you got her doing this. Not very nice. Somebody's got to get a man on that and fix it. Somebody from her party I saw this morning, maybe it was her. I happened to be in a government parking lot. It was a Liberal one in Ontario, and there she was. She was a Liberal politician. She was adding oil to her car. Other people get to pay for the oil. Hey, who would have thought that? From the stupid criminal file. This is kind of a fun one. A woman reported her car stolen, and she told the police that there was a telephone in the car. And so the policeman, he thought, I'm just on the off chance the guy's really dumb, I'm going to do this. So he called the car phone, and the guy answered it, and he said to the guy, hey, I see that car is advertised. I have a bunch of cash in my pocket. I want to buy the car. So they met, and of course the guy got arrested, and he went to jail, and the car went back to its rightful owner. Kind of a cool story. Now, as the U.S. struggles with health reform, the Amish, pick your verbiage, tomato, they're going their own way. I mean, them and other Mennonite religion orders have effectively opted out of Obamacare, as they have with most federal safety nets, and they say, we don't need you people, we'll look after ourselves. There's 280,000 people in the Amish communities. I should learn how to say that one of these days. And they fund their health care through a system that merges church aid, benefit auctions, and negotiated discounts with local hospitals. And they say, we don't want government paying for our things, we want to pay our own way. A lot of other Americans should maybe pay attention to that. Obamacare is just a big stick of dynamite that's already been lighted, maybe. Right Rick, he's a guy that works with us here at Right Edition. He adds the verbiage every day to each show, and a lot more detail, and I even enjoy reading some of the stuff that he puts there. It's kind of in-depth. It really adds to the stories, so when you're on this show, you go down and you click details, and you get to read a whole bunch more stuff. Right, that would be from Right Rick. Manitoba, Canada, a judge recently has called his mandatory minimum penalty for shooters, people with guns that get charged for gun crimes, excessive and harsh. The Conservative government came along and said, we're going to fix the criminals. We're going to make a mandatory 4-year sentence for anyone that's charged under the Firearms Act. What about the good guys that are charged? What about good guys walking down the street with a gun in his pocket? Why are you doing that? Well, because some big bad guy threatened my life, and I want to protect my life, and I can't get a permit, and I don't want to die. Too bad. You go to jail for 4 years. Ta-ta. That's what's going on. This judge says, I got to do this, but I'm not happy about it. Mandatory minimum sentences for gun crimes are intended to address drive-by shootings and bad people and so on. It's not meant for the good guys. And in this case, he was a good guy. People were threatening his life. And he had to, though, get the mandatory 4 years. The facts of the case and the background of the accused all were factors for the judge's verbiage. He said, this is wrong. And because, again, the good guy defended his life with a gun, with a firearm. In Arizona, Mesa, here's a man here, took his child to school. He was a policeman, had his uniform on, had a gun in a holster, duh, and a bunch of people complained. A bunch, 2 or 3, who knows what a bunch means, but it says a bunch here. This is in Arizona. You can legally carry a gun in the open, you can carry it concealed, you can do whatever you like, as long as you're not a bad guy, right? If you have a background check, you're considered to be a good guy. But a lot of people said, here's a man with a uniform. The school actually contacted the father and said, don't wear a uniform in our school anymore, don't have an open gun. I wonder what part of the law they don't get, and in particular, you got a guy here that enforces the law. He can carry a gun if he wants. I would say, let me end today with this. An elderly man was stopped by police, still talking about police. It was 2 a.m. Where are you going this time of night? I'm going to a lecture about alcohol abuse, the effects it has on the human body, as well as about smoking and staying out late. Really? Who gives that lecture, kind of a lecture, at this time of night? The man looked at him and said, my wife. Ha ha, y'all come back tomorrow. We're going to have more for you from the right. See ya.